nice little, 70-point range right there. Really struggling on ES to break over top of OR, just tapping that 200. Pretty even distribution on Bookmap. Got to see us break through this 880, 890 area. Really, I'd rather see a test of like 900. Likewise, on the downside, 800. And kind of see if we test out this 900 or hit our head again over on NQ. Wouldn't be surprised to get gap fill here on ES. There's the half. Get gap fill, test out 900. I mean, even the 920 would be, if we break through the 900, would be the next stop up. VIX coming right back down to that pre-news, whatever you want to call it. Iran stuff at 6 a.m. Eastern. They can keep pushing for this 900. Let's see. We've got a lot of volume just sitting here at 900. Let's see if this can break through, or if this is where it hits its head. Again, if this breaks through, definitely could see 920. We're so close to that gap fill, I wouldn't be surprised to see that get taken either. rejected again. There's a US pushing though. Mike, I haven't tried my TradeSyncer yet. I had to reconnect everything, or I always reconnect every Monday. So they do maintenance over the weekend, and so every Sunday night, Monday morning, I reconnect all of my accounts. So that might be what you're running into. Again, I haven't tried mine. I haven't taken any trades with that yet. So okay, cool. Did it just need to be like enabled again? Ah, okay. Also interesting here, this 4-hour time frame on ES. We draw this fib out from the low to the high from Wednesday. Low up to our Friday high, and we did come right down to a halfway back on that one with that wick. So also kind of interesting there looking at that. And really struggling to break 900 to even get there, and then to hit that gap fill. POC just shifted up there. Still would like to see that gap fill get taken. We're so close. I'm surprised we
basically did, because we came like 5 ticks away. So
yeah,
or 4 ticks away.
Yeah, it is 4 ticks. Yeah. Let's see if this is our little pop to tap it. Like to see how we react at that 900, if we can get there. They're really keeping that thing off a bit. VIX is just right at the bottom of its range from the overnight. we can't hold this 50, next stop down would be about 30. That is right at that 200. And let's see, that is perfect, our halfway back right there too. So this could be that little push up to that 915, 920 area. If that fib proves itself, that's a retest of today's point of control on ES. Let's see if this thing actually can break through this 50 here. Wick down to 40. Which is right at our 618 there. Again, retesting daily POC on ES. Was a test of the bottom of OR here, and we are currently at that golden pocket on NQ. ES is stronger though. ES is playing at the top of its range. VIX right at the bottom of its range. Right in that short fib right there. And so I'm cautious here. We're in between two draws on NQ. ES is right at the top of its range, hanging out up there. VIX is at the bottom of its range. Did a little retest right there. If that keeps breaking down, that's where we could see this thing start to retrace the overnight move, looking for overnight highs. There's about another 100 points up right there. If that happens, so just want to be a little cautious of this area. It's just the chop zone. VIX melting down a little bit more. See if we can break through this 900, or if we hit our heads again. There's that test coming up of 900. If this breaks through that, we could see a quick little spike up to about this 940 area, kind of where I have this bar drawn. But it's going to have to break through that 900. That's the full gap fill right there. So again, wouldn't be surprised to see profit taking there. Got a huge wall at 900. If we break the 900 though, it's definitely bullish. We are above the OR on both right now, on both NQ and ES. I'd like to see how this reacts here at about this 860 area. If this catches back to OR mid, again, wouldn't be surprised to see profit taking off the gap. Below our session POC right there. And yeah, if we can break through this 900, 940 is really what I'd be looking for the next stop up. if we reject here and break back down into OR, I'd like to see that retest of that down towards the 800 area here. It's got to break 860. What do we have here? If we ran with this, about a 30-point stop if we look short here. I'm not in love with it yet, but this could break right here. If we break 860, this would be a really nice short. Yeah, I'm with you, Mike. VIX is just still melting. I'm curious. I mean, we are right at our Friday low here, and so yeah, we go back. We haven't been. God, I mean, it's been a long time. I'll just say that. I went back like a week, and we haven't been this low on VIX. So this is basically our Friday low right here on VIX. Be interesting to see how that, if it just keeps melting right through that. And there's nothing stopping this right here. We're just chopping right now, honestly, on NQ. Same with ES, and so just playing with the top of that OR and high a day is basically what we're doing here. That wick down right there came right to that 860 area, so buyers definitely stepped up there. Again, actually gold, that looks like it did a nice little fib retrace there too, actually. If we go from that high to the low, yeah, that was kind of perfect. So next stop down on that would be 565. Throw an alert there. See what it's doing. Oof. Well, that was gnarly. pause for just a second there, even.
Yeah, that just ran past my stop like 20 points.
Oh my god. Just for shits and giggles here, let's go to the 1 second. Yeah, that's a 1 second candle right there. That is 60 points.
I was up like 15 too.
Oh
or
my
20.
god. That's a 1 second candle. Nothing you can do about that. Shoot. Did you get stopped at where you wanted, or was that very ugly?
No, I put my stop in profit and I took like a 30-point loss or 20-point loss.
Okay, I got you. Damn. Well then. Give just a little bit more time to shake out.
It's an eval, but I put my stop like 300 in profit and I took a $500 loss.
Oh my god. That is infuriating. I hate that. Let's just see. This is... I don't want to play it. I'd play it with, yeah, Tark. Same.
What?
He says my cowardice is working in my favor so far. I haven't hit the button yet today.
Yeah, this is such a frustrating open.
No, and yeah, Armada, I've been watching chips. Actually, Intel kind of bounced back, right? Like that sold off really hard. Or really hard, $3. I mean, back in the day, that'd be really hard. AMD here just selling off, and then Nvidia we're kind of back under that 200 again. So, Google, let's take a look at that one. I know I pulled it up. I don't remember. Where was that? Okay, so yeah, Google's not doing good either. So, and here we go. Nice little, now we're just pushing. Okay.
And now it's going to 900.
Yeah. Now we're going to go. Yeah.
So frustrating.
Yeah, here's this 900. So let's see how this reacts. If this blasts through 900, 940 is that next stop, I believe. Yeah, we still have that marked off. That's where all these orders are sitting. Yeah, we'll see. That's a 1 second candle. That's insane right there. So it's not a good day with that. I hate those. We ate through that 900. So let's see if this thing goes all the way up to 940 now. Pushing above daily fair value low on ES. That's going to bring us close to daily fair value high. That's going to be that 920. There's that push. So looking at 940 for the next leg up. That's also going to line up with first deviation. I'm going to say I'm sitting on hands right now, so... We're over both ORs right now. I'm not loving the price action today, honestly. I hate it when we get those candles like that, but that's what we got right now. VIX, looking at, are we going to come back into the quote unquote range, be back above Friday? So watching that. Gold did hit that fib target right there, so that's nice. Let's drag this guy down and see if this kind of reacts again at the 707. Just daily on ES. Oh, ES is pushing here. If we zoom out here, let's just see. Yeah, we're kind of right at that 764 on that short draw. We do have that structure over here at this 920. So kind of see how we react. Prior highs 920 area. I'd like to see how we react up there. This may be all that we got. Was that a 912? Back under that 900 here. So if this fib works, that target would be all the way down to 578, which there's 300 points there. I'm not thinking we're going to hit that today, but you never know. I'd rather kind of see us move back up towards daily for value on ES. That drive us up to this 28,000 on NQ. And keep the uptrend momentum going. Yes, just pushing here. VIX is right at the bottom of that range still. Hasn't broke. Again, it's tricky here because we could see a retest of this 70 area, top of OR, daily POC, and then continue the next leg up. I wouldn't be opposed to seeing that, but we're really close to that fib target right there. If we draw it off of this first leg up right here, we did just hit that fib target. So that has been taken out. So if we extend this up, that's where I'd be looking back to this like 860 area. Just looking at Bookmap. If we break through 870 though, we go down to 850, which would take us to that 618. And then we're getting really close to the bottom of OR on NQ, but that would probably be about the top of OR on ES. And so we'll just have to see how that reacts if we do get there. I want to see if this holds at the daily point of control, really that 382 and top of OR. If so, can we make it up to this 940 area? Got a lot of sitting orders up there. That was kind of that target we talked about quite a while ago. So we'll see if we can get there. ES is pushing up towards Asia high, London high, and daily fair value. I have a hard time getting in a long right here without a proper pullback. I'm looking for a breakout because, you know, that upside target is only at 940. And with this type of price action where we have a 60-point candle in 1 second, makes me hesitate a little bit here. Yeah, Mike, chop and grind up to 28, it's very likely. I mean, especially with how strong ES is, ES could push us up. It could just keep dragging us up. If VIX keeps breaking down like this, yeah, I don't really have a doubt that we could see that 28 today. It's really not that far away. It's 100 points. Like I said, we saw 60 points in 1 second. So, you know, it could happen here in the next 15 minutes. It could happen, you know, this afternoon power hour. I don't know. We're holding EMAs, grinding up. That's why I'm kind of waiting, you know, are we going to get a pullback? Is this going to catch support? I just hated that price action right here. And so let's see how gold's doing. Oh, and gold just broke out. Fib target broke out. That's beautiful. Let's see. Bigger time frame there. Oh, right about to it's halfway back. Oh, yeah. VIX still melting down. Man, ES is strong. I would imagine if the chips weren't selling off, we'd be seeing this exact same thing with NQ right now. First red candle coming in on ES since that little flash dump. Put in control from this last wave did just shift up. Like to see how this reacts at 880. If that breaks right through 880, we may see 850 again. Take us right down to kind of our golden pocket for a potential long. Choppy day on NQ. Yes, just grinding higher. Take a stab at just one micro short here. I'm going to have stops at 920. Got a couple sellers stepping in on Bookmap. It's a nice little fib retrace. This may, if this breaks right through 915, 920, we're going straight to 940. I'll be targeting 850, but I'll just be trailing down. So looking for about, I marked it in, but I was looking for about 50 points there. Risking 20. So we'll see here. Again, looking for like this 8, it'll be about 855 area here. I'll put this, make this a big fat green bar here. Just one. I don't want to just fight this thing and go in heavy at all. If it breaks, then we can just keep trailing. If it breaks at 850, then we should see 800. But we got our POC finally flipped up here on yes. Again, just one micro, nothing big here. Just a little stab. Like to see this come down and retest that 200 EMA. Just from open on ES2, if we had a nice fib pullback to get through the highs, that would take us right to the top of its OR. Nice little wick down right there. That would have been 15 points if we had just an order sitting there. See if that gets bought right back up. Again, looking for them to kind of defend the 905, area 910. Keep us under that. Take us down to this 855, 860 area. So there's 15 points. If you like it, take it. Just one micro. I'm looking for a little bit more here. All right, there's 25. Okay, drag this guy down. Let's trail about every 10 or so. I'm not going to let this thing turn red. This is close to that golden pocket, daily POC. Running this on a couple evals. I'm just trailing out on those. But these are all my copy traded funded, so we're not trying to be a hero right now. We'll take what we can get. And if this tags us, it tags us. I'm okay with that. And we're out. So right to that 200 EMA pretty perfectly. You can see over here on Bookmap kind of all of that 65, all that volume sitting right at 65. So that makes sense why we bounced there. The next kind of stop was at 850. If we broke through that, I mean, we have room down. Like there is room down here. This right here could just be a pullback to catch the next leg down. The problem with that is right now that was the pullback to catch the next leg up. So this 940 area that we've kind of been talking about, and you can actually see here, I'll drag Bookmap over, all that volume just kind of sitting at 940 also. So, you know, that's kind of been the target is this 940. It's been in my head. For the upside, right here, we're just trying to catch that next leg down to catch the next leg up. And if it had follow through, that's where we would be able to keep that going. Now, on the evals that I'm running this, I do have a runner, and it is still at break even. And I've got that entered at 905. So if we come back up to 905 here, that'll be tagged out. So, you know, with running a couple, and you can really see that pays well with running a couple, I have it basically, it can just tap that 764 just a hair more, just because I'm doing break even. But if this does catch the next leg down, we'll be able to catch more. But again, I'm not trying to catch a giant move down on my funded accounts here and fight the trend. I'm happy with that. That's a little tiny baby win. Obviously would like more, but we'll take that. You know, coming back to retest that point of control here. Do we have first hour levels? Let's see where those guys are sitting. Oh yeah, we got those up right there. So yeah, right at fair value. And that was that retest the top of OR. It held. So we haven't even come close to that on ES. So let's see if this is the push that we need to get to 940. Lines up with that fib. Those evals are stopped out. I believe, let me take a look. Oh, and by a tick. 905 on the dot, and we never hit it. So and that's just one contract, so it's nothing crazy. But sometimes you'll see, you know, one contract run a few hundred points. I'm a lot better on evals because I just set it at stop loss break even. some of these fundeds have intraday trailing, so you can't just make $600 and give it back type deal, or even a few hundred. You don't want to give it back because it affects your trailing drawdown. See here, if this can't break, we may be able to see this may be that next leg down. If we draw this guy up here, held that 707, next leg down would be 850. I'm not opposed. You may see that. Yeah, and 850 lines up with Bookmap too. So both fib targets, long and short, line up with what I'm seeing on Bookmap. I would have liked to see us on ES test out daily fair value or London and Asia highs. I would have liked to see that before a potential sell-off, you know. Market doesn't care what I want to see though. So still in this short right here, just on the evals from 905. Just gonna let those guys go. This just takes them out. It's just one micro. $75 will be the next stop down. If we break 75, I do believe we'll see 50. VS breaks 63, we should see more downside there too. So again, not to be Mr. Bear over here, but there's some things pointing down. That being said, we are chopping in the first hour fair value zone, and kind of where we've been all day is chopping between 900 and our top of our OR. We're really stuck in this like 30-point range, so not a lot you can do. That ES just keeps grinding higher. That is nice. I was actually looking at ES a little bit more after Friday, and well, here, let's go back to Friday. VIX is popping. Yeah, I mean, VIX has really caught itself here. And so we back into Friday? Yeah, we're back into Friday. I just can't put as much weight on VIX lately. It just hasn't been what it used to be as far as, you know, it's been running with the indexes the last couple of weeks. And so, yeah, the secret must be out. It used to be such a good tool, and it'll get back there, you know. This isn't normal times, you know, with all of the war stuff and tweets and all that. Like, I know there's never a normal time in the market, but it's extremely volatile, as we saw earlier here. And so it'll get calmer, and this will start lining back up. I've seen this before where this makes no sense with what the market's doing before. And so, you know, honestly, right now, like, crude is kind of like VIX. You just got to watch crude a little bit too. But where were we going with this? Okay, so ES here. Okay, so I've been thinking about trading ES a bit more, and the reason is, let's go, I'm just going to go to a 3-minute chart here. We're going to go back to Friday. And if we look at, okay, so here's VIX, or geez, ES, right? Okay, check this out. It fibs perfectly every time. We're just making perfect steps down every single time. High to low. Retested that 764, little bit above it, straight to the fib target right there. Right? Perfect. Straight to it. So let's do the next wave. From here to here. Came up, golden pocket, kissed the fib target. Perfect. Again. Right here. Came down. 707. There's our close. Right there. Fib target. Perfect. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. Compared to in Q on Friday, just a choppy, rangy mess. Just up. I mean, like, if you want the range, we got the range. You know, you got a whatever 100-point range. Up, down. What do we do? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 waves. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4 waves right there. So just a choppy mess. Versus ES is actually making moves, and so it's interesting. You know, it's like I used to trade ES a lot more, and it fibs out so much nicer, at least lately. So just something, at least I'm kind of tossing around, is kind of switching from MNQ to MES. A lot less wicks, you know, and so, and you know, here we're coming right up to daily fair value. So, you know, we may be trading MES a little bit more than MNQ here, maybe. I'm kind of testing it a little bit just on some evals and stuff, but I like it, and that's what I watched for many years. Or when I was trading SPX, it'd be the exact same as ES, and it moves a little bit more technical and less wiki than in Q. So here we come up to this 920. Let's see if we can hit up to that 940 here. Now we actually have some pretty nice support at 895 also. Coming up to that daily fair value and our overnight highs on ES. That's kind of what we're looking for there. Would have liked to get in that long a bit, but there was just never the pullback, except this crazy wick. You know, that was a nice pullback right there. That was right to that 707. Problem is that was 1 second, and we bought right back up, and that's not what I want to get in on those impulse candles. It fibs out looking in hindsight, but we know that was a 1 second candle down, a 1 second candle up. There's no way to get in on that. I do, you know, this may be a little baby pullback, but then when we look at in Q, it's just kind of moving sideways. So, and in this right here, we caught that leg down. That's for that next leg up. Also, if we draw out from this low, and it held the 200, which was nice. Low to the high. We did golden pocket right there. That halfway back, pushed up to kind of that top area, which we are breaking through now. So, I'd like to see if we can break through this 940. I'm gonna go top off my coffee real quick. I'll be back in just a minute, guys. All right, so right to daily fair value on Yes, almost. Dun, dun, dun. Again, looking for that 940 on NQ here. Currently, if this pulls back to this 900 and retests that point of control, that could be a good long. You know what I'm looking for here. If this breaks this 24, it may come down to 900 area. We're just running now. See if our POC did just shift up on ES. Again, I wouldn't be opposed to a short right here to catch this next leg up, but it's only about a 30-point short. That's the thing here. I go breaking through that 25. Nope, it held that. Lots of buyers sitting at 895 right now. Now at 200. So they'll be looking for that, or I'm sorry, at 900. They'll be looking for that next leg up also. So if this does get a pullback down to that halfway back and that point of control, next stop up is that 56 as of right now. If this can continue just to keep going right up right now though. So just kind of being patient here. To me, it would make sense if we come down, retest 900, and then push back up. We may hit this 950 area. That would give us, down to 907 then. So let's say, hypothetically, we come up, hit this 950. It's going to come down. We are right at upside target 2 here. Let's say even if we get to essential premium, man, that lines up nice with the levels. Essential premium, come down halfway back, then the target would be full premium on the first hour levels. Right at daily fair value on ES here, we're breaking down below that point of control. This is where I would actually kind of like a short down to that next leg up. I haven't had that shift yet on NQ. Right at daily fair value high. flip over to this guy. This isn't copy traded. I am going to take it just with one micro here. I'm going to do about a 20 point stop here, and we're looking for this to come to 910 as of right now, 908. So one way to de-risk is not copy trade if you're copy trading. So it's a funded account also, but this one isn't tied to everything. So I'm okay taking this just with one account. It's no biggie. So again, looking for that 908. And we're in at 933. I like the way this is going with yes. If this can break this 266 area, should be a nice little one here. I'm actually gonna have my stop up here at 956. Just looking at Bookmap. So I believe, what are we at? We're risking 25, shooting for 25. Yeah, 1R. I'm all right with that. Lines up. Just with one micro too. It's not copy traded, so we're risking $50 to make $50. I'm okay with that. Just on one though. I don't want to run that across 10 accounts. So. Kind of right at that top right here. I'm going to drag this buy limit down and we'll trail. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Hit 910. I should have had that at 910, not 908. And not drag it down and just trailed, but that looks good. These wicks are wild. Yeah, we've got, but so next stop would be 900. break 900. I'd like to get this thing down to 900 and then get this to break even and trail. See if we can catch a little bit bigger move, but we may not get that. Is it quick down? Yeah, they are. And yeah, it keeps getting bought here. This. All right, 707. If we break 900, there's room. The problem is, yeah, it keeps getting bought instantly. Again, just for shits and giggles, 1 second candles. That's a 1 second candle again. That is a 1 second candle. So, you gotta have your orders precise on that. Back to our 1 minute candles. 1 second's a little ADHD. There it goes again, right to that 910. All right, trail here. Okay, stops at break even. There's 30 points. Get rid of this buy limit. I'm going to trail to 917, lock some in. Again, that's right to that 900. If we break 900, there's room to 850. So we could have this guy at break even. That'd be totally respectable too. But we may get this bounce at 900. If this breaks, there we go. All right, trail. 870, then 850. We may get tagged on this bounce. I'm at 904 for my stop. It's okay if we get tagged at 904. Completely fine. Seller stepping in at 910. We could trail this guy up a little bit higher, like at 915, but I'm fine if this tags us out. I'll take it. This is kind of how I'm still in on this one eval here. This is just kind of, I'm going to take one off here and just do stop at break even. Put my stop there. So we're still in just one here. This is an eval, so completely different than the way I'm running my fundeds. But that's not a bad day on an eval. 80 bucks on that first contract, another 20 locked in, so it's 100 bucks. But we're in basically at the top there, so I'll just let this guy go. Let me show you how I'm managing it over here, because we did get trailed out on that funded. That's okay. So kind of my thought on this here is I want to give this enough room to have a fib pullback, which we just did. There is our test of first hour fair value, top of OR. So we're going to drag this guy down over here. The next fib pullback would be a retest of 900. So we're going to trail this guy down. So that's locking in 70. All right, here's that 860. Next is going to be 850. There it is. And I'm just going to keep trailing down. And that's it. There's 850. So I've got my trail at 867. Again, on the funded, and then we're out. Done. So, not bad. 2 micros today, 1 trade on this account, 219. I mean, I'm happy with that. Copy trade that across accounts, and you're having good days here. So, she caught right there near the bottom of OR on NQ, absolute top of OR on ES. Makes sense. Just from that perspective, if we, all right, so we hit our fib target, right? So that's that 860. So if we drag this guy down, we just came right back to a halfway retrace right there. This last POC from this way for retesting. If this fib proves itself again, we're going down to 820. And there's room. There is room if that proves itself. I'm not taking it. I'm not going to tap back in, but there is room. Likewise, if we look at, let me clean this up a little bit. We're going to clean that up, and there. Okay. So pretty much a blank chart. Today's low, today's high. We kissed that 707 to the tick. Next stop up, this is ES, is 277. Let's look at NQ. I'm going to clean this up a bit. Clean. All we have is our POC, some of my EMAs and stuff, but we dragged this from the bottom of today's open to the top, came right down, 707. Next stop is 972. I'm with you, Mike, that we're going to most likely see 28 today, all right? I'm with you on that, and when I'm looking for shorts, I'm just looking for this next leg down to catch the next leg up. And then just knowing that we're at all-time highs and extended, if we catch a runner that just keeps going and going, we're going to be very profitable. That's kind of my thought process. I wanted to see the retest of the top of OR, which is what we had over here on ES. Again, ES has been a little more technical lately. I like it. Might be trading ES a little bit more in the future. But in Q, we retested OR. I mean, these are aggressive candles here. So that's our long draw, right? That's where we are now. It's holding, it's proving itself. Likewise, short draw, the flip side of this guy. We just came to 707 and kind of hitting our head on this prior resistance. I guess that would be like the top of your 15-minute OR. Even the top of your 1 hour initial balance is what we just hit. If this can't break through this 920 again, back down we go. And then we'll be retesting the bottom of the range. So then we'll be going down to 825 area. So that's how I'm seeing it right now. It's in between 2 draws right now, which is fine. I'm glad we caught that short right there. That was nice. Technically, if we just had our runner stop at break even, we were in, I believe, up in here at this 935 area, 940 area. Just set stop to break even sometimes on, at least on evals I do. If I'm not contending with trailing drawdown like I do on TPT, just set it at stop at break even. Worst case is you get back $100. But if you're pretty confident that this is just going to fib down, you want to give it enough room to fib down, because yeah, you might give back. I mean, this would have been, $120 per micro, 60 points. But you're looking for that additional, bottom of range. And if this breaks the bottom of the range, then we're really looking for these overnight lows. I mean, you could potentially be looking for another 200 points. So is it worth potentially giving back 60 points to catch 200? I think so, and just shut it off and not look at it all day and be surprised. The other thing that you can do would be target that halfway back of this big move, look for 800. So then you're only getting about another 50 points. That's still a 1-to-1 R if you're willing to get back 50 points for a fib retrace to catch another 50, which would be a total on that play of like 150, which is nice. So let's see. She's rejecting the POC from the last 2 waves here. I got no orders sitting out here on these fundeds. And the evals are all flat. We're doing good then. Flatten all and cancel all orders. Oh. Well. There we go. 52. So yeah, it's not bad on the day. So most of the evals, a few $100 today. I'm happy with that. I think I'm gonna call it here. We're just in between 2 draws. I know, like personally, I have a short bias right now. So again, when I know I'm really leaning heavy one side, and we are grinding higher at all-time highs, I probably should step away because my worst days are when it grinds higher. But I still lean towards this is our nice little retrace. We're going to retest bottom of today's range. On the flip side, 28K is very appealing. So I'm just going to set alerts here. I'm going to set it at the bottom of the range here. Could be a nice double bottom there. So I've got an alert right there. I've got an alert at 28. Could be some profit taking. Anything in between these two, I won't be taking anything else today. I just like to set up alerts, so if something triggers, I can jump in the afternoon, or as there's more data to follow through with. And so that's what I'm looking at today. Set some alerts on ES2. So again, bottom of range here. Also, this is that fib target, so I'm gonna set one up there, see if that hits. And then VIX, I want to see if we break today's low. And then, let me see, what's our halfway back on this guy? Yeah, about this 20 area. I'm just going to set one at 20 on VIX. So, it's kind of what I'm looking at today. I'm going to call it. I'm happy with that for a Monday. And with this price action, there's no reason to play with fire. This is literally playing with fire with 1 second candles that way. So I think, like Chris said, he was up and even had his trailing stop loss. He should have been closed up and got not horribly smoked on that, but he gave back gains and closed out a position red that should have been green based off that candle right there. So price action is tough when we're moving this fast. So, all right, guys. Anything else anybody wants to look at real quick? Otherwise, I'm going to jump off and I think just go hit the gym and unwind a little bit. So, all right. Well, thanks for jumping on today. We'll catch you all tomorrow. Have a good rest of your day. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep, thank you, guys.